You do not stop a fleet with one submarine. For decades that was the rule. Fleets decide wars. Battleships and cruisers, steel and gun barrels, thousands of men moving in formation. This is how nations break each other. Submarines scout. They harass. They pick off stragglers. But they do not block an armada. They do not decide the fate of invasions. The Imperial Japanese Navy believed this rule as firmly as anyone alive. Their doctrine was built on decisive surface action, on massed power smashing through resistance in one overwhelming blow. And in October of 1944, as Japan prepared its most complex naval operation of the entire war, that belief hardened into certainty. The Americans would land at Leyte. The Japanese would respond with force so massive it would shatter the invasion in a single stroke. Multiple fleets converging from different directions. Precision, timing, overwhelming firepower. And there was one more certainty. No single U.S. submarine, alone, unseen, outgunned, could stop them. But in October 1944, in the narrow waters of the Palawan Passage, one commander made a series of decisions that would break that rule forever. You are Commander David H. McClintock. You are 38 years old. You wear command easily, but nothing about this war has been easy. You command USS Darter, a Gato-class submarine, 311 feet of steel, diesel engines and quiet confidence. 80 men depend on you. Every order you give decides whether they live or die. You are not reckless. You are methodical. You trust numbers, bearings, sound, and you trust your crew. By October 1944, the Pacific War has reached its hinge point. The United States has returned to the Philippines. Leyte is not just another island, it is the artery. Cut it and Japan's access to oil from the south collapses. Lose it and the war's end becomes inevitable. Japan knows this, so they launch Operation Shogo, Victory Operation. A desperate, brilliant, and terrifying plan. The combined fleet will attack from multiple directions. Decoy carriers will lure the American fast carriers north. While the Americans chase ghosts, the real strike force, the center force, will punch through the San Bernardino Strait and annihilate the invasion fleet at Leyte Gulf. At the heart of that center force sails Vice Admiral Takeo Kurita. His flagship is the heavy cruiser Atago. Around him, battleships Yamato and Musashi. Heavy cruisers Maya, Takao and more. Dozens of ships. Hundreds of guns. Thousands of sailors. Their route takes them through the Palawan Passage, a narrow choke point between islands, deep enough for submarines, confined enough to be dangerous. And waiting there are two American submarines. Darter and her sister boat, USS Dace. Your orders are simple. Scout. Report. Shadow. You do not have orders to attack. But as the hours pass and hydrophones fill with propeller beats, dozens of them, you realize what is coming through that passage is not a patrol. It is a fleet. And if it passes unchallenged, Leyte burns. You must decide what one submarine is worth against an armada. It is just after midnight on October 23, 1944. You are on the surface. Darkness presses down like a lid. The sea is calm. Too calm. Radar paints returns. Multiple contacts, moving in formation, speed steady at 14 knots. This is it. You signal Dace. Contact report. Course, speed, composition. Then you turn south ahead of the enemy running dark. No lights. No radio. Only the engines and your breathing. You order the dive. Water closes over the deck. The hull creaks as Darter slips beneath the surface. Inside, the air is thick with oil and sweat. Men move silently. Torpedo doors stand ready. You bring the boat to periscope depth. The first sight through the scope steals the breath from your chest. Warships. Not silhouettes, monsters. A column stretching beyond the horizon. The lead cruiser looms large, black against starlight. That is Atago, Kurita's flagship. Range, 1,500 yards. You calculate quickly. Angle on the bow. Speed. Target zigzag. Solution comes together in your head like a lock clicking open. You order tubes 1 through 6 flooded. The boat vibrates softly as compressed air fills lines. 1,200 yards. You hear nothing but the hum of the motors and the faint whine of gyros spinning up. 900 yards. You think about what happens if you miss. If your wake is spotted. If escorts react fast enough. You fire. Tube 1. Then 2. Then 3. Then 4. Then 5. Then 6. 6 Mark 14 torpedoes leap from Darter's bow, running hot, straight, and true. You swing the periscope just in time. A white line streaks toward Otago's hull. Impact. A dull flash. Then another. Then a third. The cruiser lurches violently. Fire blossoms along her midsection. Secondary explosions tear through the superstructure. You hear the explosion through steel and water, a deep physical that rattles your bones. Otago begins to slow. But you are not finished. You swing the scope again. Next in line, heavy cruiser Maya. Range, 800 yards. You order stern tubes ready. Another firing solution. Another command. Another launch. The torpedoes run. They hit. Maya erupts. Flames shoot skyward. The ship lists hard, then harder, then disappears beneath the surface in minutes, taking hundreds of men with her. The Japanese column is in chaos now. Searchlights snap on. Escorts accelerate. Depth charges splash into the water, distant but coming closer. You take Darter deep. Depth, 150 feet. Then 200. Explosions rumble above. The hull shudders. Light bulbs flicker. Men grip handrails and wait. Minutes pass. Then silence. You surface cautiously before dawn. Smoke stains the horizon. Debris floats where warships sailed hours earlier. But the ambush is not over. USS Darter attacks next, crippling Takao. She will never fight again. Kurita himself is forced to abandon Otago, swimming for his life as his flagship sinks beneath him. And in that moment, wet, exhausted, stunned, the commander of Japan's center force realizes something unthinkable. One submarine has not merely attacked his fleet. It has shattered his timetable. What Kurita does not yet know is how deep the damage runs. The loss of Otago and Maya costs him more than ships. It cost him time, confusion, momentum, command cohesion. His flagship is gone. Communications fracture. Orders delay. That delay matters. Hours later, Kurita will push on toward Leyte, but his force arrives battered and disorganized. The timetable of Operation Shogo, so carefully planned, begins to unravel. American intelligence receives the contact reports. Admirals re-evaluate dispositions. The invasion fleet gains precious hours to prepare. And when Kurita finally meets American forces off Samar, his hesitation, born in part from the shock of that submarine ambush, contributes to one of the most improbable American survivals of the war. Small escort carriers and destroyers will face battleships and cruisers, and live. The center force will withdraw. Leyte will hold. The Japanese Navy will never again mount a coordinated fleet operation on this scale. All because one night in a narrow passage the rule was broken. Commander David McClintock survives the war. So do most of the men of Darter. Weeks later, irony claims the boat itself. Darter runs aground on a reef while chasing the same battered enemy and must be destroyed to prevent capture. But her work is already done. 80 men. 1 submarine. 2 cruisers sunk. 1 flagship destroyed. A fleet delayed. A campaign altered. Today, the Battle of Leyte Gulf is remembered as the largest naval battle in history. But its opening blow did not come from a battleship's guns or a carrier's planes. It came from a silent hull, a steady commander, and torpedoes fired at the right moment by men who understood that sometimes, the impossible is only a rule waiting to be broken. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. Every click tells the algorithm this piece of history is worth remembering. We're dedicated to rescuing these forgotten stories from the archives. If you want to join us on that mission, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment with your city or state, and tell us if someone in your family served. Thank you for ensuring that Commander David H. McClintock and the 80 men of USS Darter do not disappear into silence. They deserve to be remembered.